Mud exploded against the side of the SUV as the rear wheels spun uselessly, sinking another inch with a wet, sucking sound. Inside the car, Maya slammed her palm against the steering wheel, breath sharp, heart racing. No, 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 she whispered. The dashboard lights flickered. Rain hammered the windshield so hard it sounded like gravel. Outside, the narrow rural road had dissolved into a thick brown trap, swallowing the tires like quicksand. The luxury SUV, built for comfort, not survival, tilted slightly to the left. Maya forced herself to breathe. In, out. Her legs were motionless beneath her, exactly as they had been since the accident years ago. She reached for her phone, fingers trembling, and glanced at the signal bar. One bar, then none. Come on, she muttered, tapping the screen. Please. The call failed. She leaned back, swallowing panic. Her father's words echoed in her head. Stay on the main road. Security will meet you. But the driver had been delayed. Maya had insisted she could handle the short stretch alone. She hated feeling helpless, hated always waiting. Now the car groaned again, the mud creeping higher up the tires. Maya, think, she said out loud, her voice shaking. She cracked the window. Cold rain sprayed her face. The smell of wet earth filled her lungs. She shouted, "Hello? Is anyone there?" Her voice disappeared into the storm. Minutes passed, maybe longer. Time stretched when fear took over. Headlights appeared briefly in the distance, then slowed, then vanished as the car turned around, unwilling to risk the road. Her chest tightened. Then she saw him, a figure walking along the edge of the road, head down against the rain, hoodie soaked dark. He stopped when he noticed the SUV, eyes narrowing as he took in the scene. Maya's heart jumped. "Hey," she called, waving an arm. "Please, can you help?" The boy hesitated. He was young, maybe 17. Thin. Mud already splattered up his jeans. He looked at the sinking wheels, then at her, then back at the road as if weighing something heavy in his mind. "I'm stuck," Maya said quickly. "My phone's not working." He took a step closer, careful where he placed his feet. "You alone?" "Yes. I mean, security is supposed to." She stopped herself. None of that mattered now. "Please." The boy nodded once. "Don't try to move the car anymore." "I wasn't," she said. "It just keeps sinking." "Yeah, mud like this grabs on." He crouched, pressing a hand into the ground, pulling it back slowly as if testing a living thing. If it shifts wrong, it could tip. Her stomach dropped. "Tip? Not likely," he said quickly, seeing her face. "But possible if we do something stupid." That made him glance up. "If you want my help." Relief rushed through her so fast it almost hurt. "Yes, please. Thank you." He stood, wiping his hands on his hoodie. "I'm Marcus." "Maya." He looked at her wheelchair folded in the back seat, then at her legs. Something passed over his face. Not pity, not fear. Just awareness. "Okay," Marcus said. "First thing, stay calm. Second thing, don't open the door yet." "Why?" "Pressure shift. Mud rushes in. Door gets stuck. Then we got a bigger problem." She nodded. "Okay." Rain soaked his hair as he scanned the area. Broken fence posts. A pile of scrap wood near a ditch. A length of rope tangled around a fallen sign. "Do you know how deep it is?" he asked. "No." "Good. Then we respect it." He gave a small, tense smile. "That mud don't play." Despite everything, she let out a shaky laugh. "You sound like you've met it before." "Yeah, couple times." He picked up the rope, testing its strength. People around here learn quick. A truck roared past on the main road behind them, not slowing. The sound faded. "Everyone just keeps leaving," Maya said quietly. Marcus didn't answer right away. He knelt again, pushing the scrap wood under the rear tire, careful not to put too much weight down. "Most folks got places to be," he said finally, "or reasons not to stop. What about you?" He paused, rain dripping off his nose. "I'm already late." Something about the way he said it made her chest tighten. "You don't have to." "I know." He slid another piece of wood into place. "But you're stuck." The car shifted slightly. Maya gasped. "Easy," Marcus said sharply. "Easy. Don't move." "I didn't." "I know. Just talking to the car." He pressed his palm against the frame, grounding it. "Stay with me, all right?" She nodded, eyes locked on him. No one ever spoke to her like that. Not security, not assistance. Like she was part of the solution. Rain soaked through his hoodie, plastering it to his skin. He tied the rope around a sturdy fence post, looping the other end around the car's tow hook. This isn't to pull you out, he explained. It's to stop you from sliding deeper. You know what you're doing, she said. He shrugged. I know what not to do. Thunder cracked overhead. The rope went taut as the car tried to sink again, holding just enough. Maya exhaled slowly. Marcus, thank you. He met her eyes. We're not done yet. She swallowed. What happens next? He looked at the mud, the sky, the road. Next, we build you a way to stand still long enough for real help to get here. And if help doesn't come? Marcus picked up another piece of wood, hands steady despite the rain. Then we make our own plan. The mud sucked loudly as he worked, the sound unsettling, almost alive. Maya felt fear claw at her chest, but underneath it, something else stirred. Hope. If you're already pulled into this moment, don't go anywhere. Like the video now so you don't forget, and stay with the story, because what happens next changes everything. The rain eased just enough to turn from pounding to whispering, but the mud didn't loosen its grip. It seemed to tighten instead, clinging to the tires like it had been waiting for this moment. Marcus moved with purpose, laying the scrap wood flat, spacing it carefully. Every few seconds, he stopped to test the ground with his foot, shifting his weight slowly, never rushing. Maya watched him from inside the SUV, her fingers clenched around the edge of the seat. You really don't have to stay out there in that, she said. You're soaked. He didn't look up. So are you. Difference is, I can step back. That's not what I meant. He slid another board into place and finally stood, stretching his back. I know what you meant. Silence settled between them, broken only by the wet pull of mud and the distant rumble of thunder. Do you live around here? Maya asked. Couple miles that way. He nodded behind him. I take this road every day. And you've seen cars get stuck like this? Not usually cars like yours. He gave a half smile. Most folks with rides like that don't come down here. She winced, knowing he was right. I wasn't supposed to either. Marcus glanced at her, then back to his work. Yeah, that tracks. She waited for judgment that never came. How long until help gets here? He asked. I don't know, she admitted. My dad's security team should have met me already. They probably think I'm still on the highway. Marcus frowned. Anyone else know you're out here? No. He exhaled slowly through his nose. All right, then we assume it's on us for a while. The car shifted again, just a fraction. Maya felt it through the seat, through her spine. Marcus, she said, panic creeping back into her voice. I know. He hurried, careful but faster now, wedging a thicker piece of wood under the front tire. That's the mud settling. We just gotta outsmart it. She watched his hands, mud-streaked, shaking slightly now. What if you get stuck too? He froze for half a second, then kept working. Then I'll deal with that after you're safe. That's not fair. He looked up at her sharply. Neither is this. The words landed heavy between them. Maya swallowed. Why are you really helping me? He wiped rain from his face. I told you. No, she said softly. You told me the reason. I'm asking for the truth. Marcus leaned back against the car, breathing hard. For a moment, she thought he wouldn't answer. My mom got stuck once, he said finally. Different road. Same kind of mud. Maya's chest tightened. What happened? People drove past. Some slowed down. Nobody stopped. His jaw clenched. By the time someone did, it was too late. Car tipped just enough. Door jammed. Oh my God, Maya whispered. She survived, Marcus said quickly. But it took a while. And she never walked right again after. Maya looked down at her legs, then back at him. I'm sorry. He nodded once, eyes distant. Yeah, me too. The rain picked up again, heavier now, as if the sky itself was listening. A flash of lightning lit up the road. For a brief second, Maya saw the full picture. The isolation, the mud stretching like a trap, Marcus standing alone between her and disaster. Marcus, she said, her voice steadier than she felt. If things go wrong, you don't have to choose me over yourself. He stared at her, rain dripping off his eyelashes. I already did. Before she could respond, a loud crack echoed from beneath the car. The rope strained, fibers whining. Maya screamed. The rope. I see it, Marcus shouted back. He ran to the fence post, reinforcing the knot with shaking hands. Stay still. I am still. Another crack, then the car lurched sideways. Maya's heart slammed against her ribs. Marcus. He braced himself, feet sinking into the mud as he pulled the rope tighter, anchoring it with his whole body. The The strain dragged him forward inches at a time. "Don't let go," she yelled. "I'm not." His voice broke with effort. "Just trust me." The rope held. For a long moment, nothing moved. Rain poured. Marcus stayed frozen, muscles screaming, until finally the mud stilled again. When he let go, he stumbled back, dropping to one knee, gasping. "Are you okay?" Maya cried. He gave a breathless laugh. "Ask me in a minute." "We're stable, but not safe," he said. "If this rain keeps up, the ground underneath softens more. Rope or no rope, that car's going deeper." Maya's heart pounded. "So what do we do?" He hesitated. "We get you out." Her breath caught. "Out." "Marcus, I can't." "I know," he said gently. "I see your chair. I see your legs. I'm not blind." "Then you know that's impossible." "It's not impossible," he said. "It's just risky." She shook her head. "You said not to open the door." "I said not to do it without a plan." Fear and hope tangled inside her. "And the plan is what?" "You carry me. If we have to." "That's insane," she whispered. "You could slip. We could both go down." Marcus looked at the mud, then back at her. "If you stay in there, you definitely go down. This gives us a chance." Silence stretched between them, heavy as the rain. "My father would never allow this," Maya said. Marcus's eyes flicked to her. "Your father's not here." She flinched, not from the words, but from the truth in them. "What if you drop me?" she asked. "Then I'll make sure I fall first," he said. Her eyes burned. "Why?" "Because that's the job," he replied simply. Maya laughed, a short, breathless sound. "I don't even know you." He shrugged. "You know enough." The car creaked, a low, unsettling groan. That decided it. "Okay," Maya said, voice shaking but firm. "Tell me what to do." Marcus moved instantly. "Unlock the door. But don't open it yet." She did. "Slide your seat back as far as it'll go." "Done." "I'm going to wedge this board against the door frame," he said. "When you open it, the mud's going to rush in. Don't panic." "How can I not panic?" "Focus on my voice," he said. "That's it." Her hands trembled as she reached for the door handle. "Wait," Marcus said. She froze. He leaned closer, rain streaking down his face. "Once we start, we don't stop. You trust me." Maya met his eyes. In them, she saw fear, but also resolve. The kind that didn't leave room for doubt. "Yes," she said. "All right," he whispered. "On three. 1, 2, 3." She opened the door. Mud surged in instantly, splashing up over the threshold. Cold, thick, relentless. Maya gasped. "Stay with me," Marcus said, bracing himself. He slid one arm behind her back, the other under her knees. "I've got you." Her body felt weightless and heavy all at once as he lifted her. The car shifted dangerously. "Marcus," she cried. I know," he grunted, stepping backward, boots sinking deep. Every step was a battle. His muscles screamed, rain blurring his vision. The mud grabbed at his legs, trying to pull him down. Maya clutched his shoulders. "You're slipping." "Not letting go," he said through clenched teeth. He took another step, then another. The rope groaned behind them. The ramp shifted but held. "Almost there," he gasped. Lightning flashed, illuminating the road, the mud, the impossible sight of a boy carrying a girl through a storm. Finally, his foot hit firmer ground. He staggered, then dropped to one knee, holding her tight as he caught his breath. "You're safe," he whispered. Maya buried her face against his shoulder, tears mixing with rain. "You did it." "We did it," he corrected. Headlights flared suddenly, brighter than before. Multiple vehicles this time. Tow truck. Black SUVs. Marcus looked up, heart pounding. Maya lifted her head, recognition dawning. "That's my dad's team." Doors slammed. Voices shouted commands. Security flooded the road. And suddenly, Marcus wasn't just a helper in the mud. He was a poor black boy holding a billionaire's disabled daughter in his arms, surrounded by flashing lights, cameras, and people who didn't yet know the story. "Put her down," someone yelled. Marcus stiffened. Maya tightened her grip. "Don't you dare," she snapped. But it was too late. Everything was about to change. "Put her down right now," a security officer shouted, boots splashing through the mud as he rushed forward. Marcus froze, instinctively tightening his grip on Maya. His heart slammed against his ribs. Every pair of eyes locked onto him. Flashing lights painted the road red and blue. "She's safe," Marcus said quickly. The car was sinking. "Step away from her," another voice barked. "Now." Maya lifted her head, fury cutting through the fear. Stop yelling at him. The men hesitated, surprised. He just saved my life, she snapped. All of you were late. A tall man in a dark coat pushed through the security line. His face was pale, jaw clenched so tight it looked painful. Maya, he said, his voice cracking. Oh my God, Dad, she breathed. He rushed forward, then stopped when he saw the mud, the broken ramp, the rope tied to the fence post. His eyes dropped to Marcus, mud-covered, shaking, still holding his daughter. What is going on here? The billionaire demanded. Marcus swallowed. Sir, the vehicle was unstable. I carried her out because… You carried her? One of the guards interrupted sharply. Sir, we don't know who this is. Maya's father raised a hand, silencing them. He looked at Marcus carefully now, not as a threat, but as a fact. You did this? He asked quietly. Marcus nodded. Yes, sir. And she asked you to? Maya answered before he could. I trusted him. He was the only one who stopped. Her father exhaled, the tension in his shoulders shifting. Lower her gently, he said, voice steadier now. We've got her. Marcus nodded and carefully transferred Maya into the waiting wheelchair. His arms felt empty immediately, like something important had been taken from them. As soon as Maya was secure, a medic rushed in, checking her vitals, asking rapid questions. I'm fine, Maya insisted. Check him. She pointed at Marcus. The medic glanced over, surprised. You hurt. Just tired, Marcus said. Maya's father watched this exchange closely. You're shaking, Maya said to Marcus. Sit down before you fall. I'm good, he replied, though his legs betrayed him, wobbling slightly. One of the guards stepped forward, suspicious. Sir, we should take statements. He was touching your daughter. Marcus stiffened. He'd known this moment would come. The looks, the assumptions. Maya's voice cut through the ring. Don't you dare talk about him like that. Her father's head snapped toward the guard. That's enough. The guard hesitated. Sir, protocol. My daughter is alive because of him. The billionaire said, every word sharp and controlled. That is the protocol. Silence fell. Marcus stared at the ground, rain dripping off his chin. He wanted to disappear. He hadn't done this for attention. He hadn't done it for approval. Maya rolled her chair closer to him. Marcus, she said softly. Look at me. He did. You saved me, she said. Thank you. He nodded once. I'm glad you're okay. Her father stepped closer. What's your name, son? Marcus. I'm Richard Hale, he said. And I owe you more than I can put into words. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. You don't owe me anything. Richard frowned slightly. I disagree. Tow truck operators began working on the SUV, chains clanking, engines roaring. The car was pulled free with far less effort than Marcus's struggle had required. Richard gestured toward his driver. Let us take you home, Marcus. You shouldn't be walking in this weather. Marcus shook his head immediately. I'm fine. My place is close. Still, Richard pressed. It's the least I can do. Marcus glanced at Maya. She watched him, hopeful but respectful. Thank you, Marcus said finally. But I can get there myself. Richard studied him, then nodded. All right, but we're not done talking. Marcus hesitated. About what? About how I repay you. Marcus's jaw tightened. I didn't do it for money. I know, Richard said. That's why I want to. Maya saw the tension rise in Marcus's shoulders. Dad, she said gently. Let him breathe. Richard nodded. Of course. Marcus, we'll find you. My people will get your information. Marcus shook his head again. No. The word landed harder than expected. No. Richard repeated. I don't want to be found, Marcus said quietly. I just wanted to help her. That's it. One of the guards scoffed under his breath. Marcus heard it. Maya didn't. You don't get to decide that, Richard said carefully. You deserve recognition. Marcus met his eyes. People like me don't get recognition. We get questions. The billionaire was silent. Rain slowed to a drizzle, like the storm itself was listening. Maya rolled closer to her father. Dad, he's right. Richard looked at her, surprised. He doesn't want money, she continued. And he doesn't want cameras. He wants dignity. Richard glanced around at the security vehicles, the flashing lights, the bystanders who had gathered at a distance. He raised a hand, signaling the guards to step back. Give us a moment, he said. They obeyed. Richard turned back to Marcus. Then tell me what you do want. Marcus didn't answer right away. He thought of his mother, of the broken sidewalks near his school, of the kids in wheelchairs who never made it past the front steps of public buildings. I want you to build ramps, he said finally. In places like this. Schools, community centers, places nobody cares about. Richard blinked. I want kids like her, Marcus continued, nodding toward Maya. To not have to rely on luck. Or some random guy in the rain. Maya's eyes filled with tears. You're asking me to change infrastructure, Richard said slowly. I'm asking you to change outcomes, Marcus replied. The billionaire stared at him for a long time. Then he nodded. Done. Marcus frowned. You didn't even ask how much. Richard's voice was steady. I don't need to. Maya laughed softly through her tears. I told you he listens. Marcus shifted, uncomfortable again. That's all I want. Richard extended his hand. Then you have my word. Marcus looked at the hand, then shook it. His grip was firm despite the mud. As Marcus turned to leave, Maya called out. Wait. He stopped. She raised her phone. I recorded everything, she said. Not to expose you. To protect you. He nodded. Okay. She smiled. Come visit the center when it's built. He hesitated. We'll see. Marcus walked away down the muddy road, rain washing him clean as the lights faded behind him. Maya watched until he disappeared. Her father followed her gaze. That boy, he said quietly, just changed my entire way of thinking. Maya nodded. He already changed mine. If this moment is hitting you the way it should, pause for 1 second. Tap like on this video. Stories like this deserve to be shared. And what happens next proves why. The next morning, the storm was gone, but its evidence remained. Mud streaked the road like scars, tire tracks frozen in place, broken boards still lying where Marcus had left them. The fence post leaned slightly, ropes still tied tight, as if refusing to let go of the moment. Marcus walked the same road again, backpack slung over one shoulder, hoodie clean but worn. His body ached in places he didn't know could ache. Every step reminded him of the weight he had carried the night before, not just Maya, but the choice itself. At home, his grandmother sat at the small kitchen table, hands wrapped around a chipped mug. You're late, she said without looking up. Yeah, Marcus replied. I know. She finally raised her eyes and froze. Marcus, what happened to you? He shrugged. Long night. She stood, moving closer, touching his arm, his shoulder, checking for injuries like she'd done since he was a child. You smell like rain and mud and trouble. He gave a tired smile. That sounds about right. She studied his face. Did you help someone? Yes. Good, she said simply, then returned to her chair. Sit. Eat something. Marcus sat, exhaustion settling deep into his bones. As he ate, his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He stared at it, then let it ring. It buzzed again, and again. Across town, Maya sat in a bright room surrounded by glass and quiet. Doctors had cleared her. Security hovered nearby, but she barely noticed them. Her phone was in her hands. The video paused on Marcus's face, frozen mid-movement, rain dripping off his chin. He didn't even look scared, she murmured. Richard stood near the window, arms crossed. He was scared. How do you know? Because courage only matters when fear is present. She smiled faintly. You sound different. I feel different. News alerts buzzed on his phone. Someone had leaked part of the incident, just enough to spark curiosity. No names yet. Just questions. A local hero? Billionaire's daughter rescued by stranger? Security failure raises concerns? Richard turned the phone face down. This won't stay quiet. Maya nodded. It shouldn't. But it shouldn't hurt him either. I won't let it, Richard said firmly. Later that week, Marcus stood outside his school, backpack heavy, mind elsewhere. Whispers followed him. Someone had recognized him. A blurry screenshot had gone around. Yo, that's him, a kid muttered. Marcus kept walking. At lunch, his friend Jamal slid into the seat across from him. Man, you famous now. Marcus groaned. Don't start. You carried a billionaire's daughter out of mud, Jamal said. That's superhero stuff. Marcus lowered his voice. I carried a person who needed help. Jamal studied him. They say her dad's trying to find you. Marcus stiffened. I said I didn't want that. Yeah, Jamal said. But the world don't really care what people like us want. That afternoon, Marcus's grandmother answered a knock at the door. Two men in suits stood on the porch, raincoats folded over their arms. Yes? She asked cautiously. Mrs. Turner, one said. We're here on behalf of Richard Hale. Marcus froze inside the house. His grandmother didn't step aside. My grandson doesn't need trouble. We're not here to cause any, the man replied. We're here to invite him to be part of something. Marcus stepped into view. I already said no. The men exchanged a glance. We're not offering money, one said. We're offering a voice. That caught Marcus off guard. Inside a week later, Marcus sat in a conference room that looked nothing like his world. Screens, blueprints, city planners, architects. Maya rolled in beside him, smiling like she belonged there, and somehow making him feel like he did too. These are the areas we want to start with, she said, gesturing to the map. Places everyone ignores. Marcus leaned forward. This curb is too steep. Wheelchairs will tip. The architect paused. You're right. Richard watched from the end of the table, silent, absorbing everything. For the first time, Marcus wasn't being talked over. Months passed. Concrete was poured. Ramps rose. Schools reopened entrances that had been locked for years. Community centers changed. Marcus visited one of them late one afternoon. A little boy in a wheelchair rolled up the ramp easily, laughing. His mother watched, eyes wet. Thank you, she said to Marcus, though she didn't know his name. Across town, Maya watched the same scene on her phone. She typed a message, you changed lives. Marcus replied, you helped too. She smiled. One evening, Richard invited Marcus to dinner. No cameras, no press. You could have asked for anything, Richard said over the meal. Marcus nodded. I know. And you didn't. Marcus met his eyes. Some things are worth more. Richard leaned back, thoughtful. You know, people are asking why I'm spending millions on accessibility. Marcus shrugged. What do you tell them? Richard smiled slightly. That a poor black boy taught me what wealth is for. Marcus looked down, uncomfortable again. I didn't teach you. You listened. Richard nodded. Fair enough. As Marcus left, Maya called after him. Hey. He turned. You ever think about how close we came to not meeting? All the time, he said. She smiled. I'm glad the mud won. He laughed. Me too. If this story is reminding you what humanity still looks like, hit that like button right now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it, because the final moments of this story bring it all together. Years passed quietly, the way real change often does. The road where Maya's SUV had sunk was finally repaved. Not because of headlines or pressure, but because someone finally decided it mattered. A smooth shoulder replaced the mud trap. Proper drainage lines were installed. It became just another road, safe, ordinary, forgettable. But for Marcus, it never was. He walked it one afternoon after finishing a long day at the Accessibility Center, hands in his pockets, memories rising with every step. He stopped where the fence post had once stood, now gone, replaced by a metal guardrail. That's where it happened, he murmured to himself. Behind him, a familiar voice answered, I know. He turned. Maya sat a few feet away in her chair, sunlight catching her face. No security nearby. No cameras. Just her. You came alone? Marcus asked. She smiled. I told my dad I was meeting a friend. He chuckled. He let you. He trusts me now, she said. That's new. They sat in silence for a moment, the wind carrying the sound of distant traffic. Do you ever regret it? Maya asked. Regret what? Stopping that night. Marcus thought carefully. Sometimes I regret how close it came to going wrong. But not the choice. No, he said firmly. Never the choice. She nodded. People still talk about it, you know. I try not to listen. They call you a hero. He winced. I hate that word. I know, Maya said. But to some people you are. Marcus looked out at the road. I was just someone who didn't walk away. Maya studied him. That's exactly what makes it heroic. Later that evening, at the community center, kids filled the halls. Wheelchairs rolled easily over smooth floors. Ramps curved naturally, like they had always belonged there. A boy no older than 8 tugged on Marcus's sleeve. Mister, you helped build this? Marcus knelt to his level. A lot of people helped. But you started it, the boy insisted. Marcus smiled gently. Then I guess that means you keep it going. The boy grinned and raced off, wheels humming softly. Marcus stood, chest tight. Across the room, Maya watched, eyes shining. Richard stood beside her, hands folded behind his back. You see it now? Maya asked her father. Richard nodded. I do. Money didn't fix this, she said. Listening did. Richard exhaled. I spent my whole life believing I could solve everything by paying for it. And now I know some problems require standing in the mud. Marcus walked over. You ready? Maya nodded. Always. That night, they unveiled a small plaque near the entrance. No names in bold letters. No grand dedication. It read, built because someone stopped. Marcus stared at it for a long time. That enough recognition for you? Maya asked softly. He nodded. More than enough. As the crowd thinned, Marcus slipped outside. The air was cool, quiet. His phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. My daughter uses the ramp you helped build today. For the first time, she went inside by herself. Thank you. Marcus closed his eyes. Across town, Maya sat at her desk, replaying the video she had recorded years ago. Not to share, not to post. Just to remember. She paused it on Marcus's face again. You didn't ask for money, she whispered. You asked for change. And the world, slowly, had listened. The next morning, Marcus walked past a mural painted on the side of the community center. It showed hands reaching down, pulling someone up. Not labeled, not racialized, just human. A passerby stopped him. You know who that's about? Marcus shrugged. Someone who didn't walk away. The man nodded thoughtfully. We need more of those. Marcus smiled and kept walking. And somewhere, far from wealth and power, a boy learned that courage didn't come from having everything, but from refusing to leave when it mattered most. If this story moved you even a little, take a second right now and like this video. It helps stories like this reach people who need to hear them. Comment below what part hit you the hardest, because your voice matters too. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss stories that remind us what humanity still looks like. Because sometimes, all it takes to change everything is one person who stops.